Hey guys, it's your boy Time Fast, and today we're gonna be taking a look at a kit that I got from my friend. So let's get into this. First of all, yes, I just said I made the Earth review a few hours ago, and I just made another review of this, and the backlog is still over there, so I might as well take a look at this guy because my friend Alex uh, gave me this kit. No, I just actually bought it from him. And you might be asking what this thing is. Well, this is the high-grade fighting action Deathsythe Hell. And if it wasn't enough from the intro already, you can tell that this kit will be going downhill. Of course, I made that clip after I reviewed it, so basically here we go. From the box store, you can see that most of everything, if the camera can focus for a bit, it's all black. We got some blurbs in Chinese, all the action poses. And from this side, you can see the majority of the kits that come with this line. And it says SD there for whatever reason, and we got there, don't give it to an 8-year-old kid. And some of you may ask, what company made this thing? Well, you'll be surprised on one thing. This kit was made by Deylo. Yes, the DIY Deylo. The same people who made the first race that I reviewed in my channel. There's a link to the description in the playlist if you want to watch that. But let's get back to this kit. Now here's the funny thing. When I got this box, the funny thing is that when I opened it, my friend said that he still kept all of the things in the runners, including the extra torso and even the weapons, which is the scythe. Then I'm not gonna cut these out because I want to make a short video if possible. And one more thing though, the beam effect, well, you can say beam effect of the scythe is molded in yellow. And of course you get all of these wing parts and the polycaps. And the funny thing is that aside from the stickers that came with the Deathsythe itself, my friend had the audacity to include the SD Justice Gundam stickers as well for whatever reason, but I guess I can use this for whatever other projects I have, whatever works. And let's just get into the manual because I'm gonna tell you, with all of these wing parts, he warned me that these wing parts are kind of loose. I wonder why. I don't see what the problem is with the wings though. They have a bit of articulate. What the does anyone have any flex tape for me to use? I will take a look at the articulation of these things, so these things move out and in active cloak mode, I guess. And then there's this piece which allows you to rotate them up and down and in and out. And the polycaps are kind of shit, which is the main issue with this line of high grades from DIY Deylo though. And the wings look totally shit. I can understand why he hated this thing now. But we're not here to look at the wings now, aren't we? That is right, my fellow builders. We are here to look at the Deathsythe now, aren't we? But first off, the manual. The manual is kind of stuffed with everything that you need, from the wing parts to the polycaps and everything. And I think I've said this before, but I do have this wing Gundam, including the SD itself, behind this curtain. Yes, behind this curtain is where I keep all my gunpla, and I'm not gonna show it off to you guys. The manual is all standard shit though, how to build this thing. The extra torso is for action poses and whatnot. And at the back here we get more blurbs in Chinese and English, whatever thing this comes first. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we do get, yeah, this is the correct way. It does look cool. I wish it really did look cool. And the one thing I just realized about these bootlegs is that they try to cover up a few things, which is to say that the Gundam that you see right here is not actually the fighting action, it's actually the master grade. Yeah, how to promote your bootleg kits, how to mislead people to buy this and waste their money. Well, use picture of the master grade. Expectations, reality. Now that I've talked shit about the gunpla itself, I'm gonna talk shit about the build quality and the articulation of this thing. And as you can see, I'm just holding the leg and it starts to sag. So proportions wise, it's not that And it's not that bad, to be honest. I can see all the pointy bits like the shit. I mean, these feet though, what the hell? It's gonna shit. Yes, that was a Jabby the Hong reference. You know what else is a Jabby the Hong reference? Woo, doggy! If it wasn't obvious enough, this thing is actually kind of loose, and you see that yellow part? That's the V-fin. It keeps popping off. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Articulation is not gonna be the best, and also the color accuracy is not the best. But let's take a look at the articulation anyways. The head is on a polycap. It doesn't do chicken movement. It only goes from up right here and down right here. And the V-fin can just go fuck itself. Full rotation is a fuck. I should be careful on full rotation at that section right there. Even the goatee is not color accurate. I should mention that the stickers aren't used, which is still on the sticker sheet. I might use them. Depends on the context though. No forwards and back motion, just rotation on that simple peg which easily disconnects. Like so. The shoulder pad is kind of separate to the... fuck's sake. Like I said, the shoulder pad is separate from the entire arm. And the arm itself can move out this far. The white piece here is on a clip section which allows it to move down this far and up this far in active cloak mode. And speaking of the active cloak mode, this is the peg which you connect to the backpack, and there's a clip in here which I removed because it gets annoying and looks like a Lego hand. And yeah, this thing pops off easily. Same on the other side though. I think that one stays. So anyway, the bicep rotation is right there, also known as a swivel. And the bend at the elbow, this thing is not going to please you. It's only a 90-degree bend. How pathetic. And of course the hands, like I said, these arm guards, they just clip onto that hole. But due to this being a bootleg, the chances of it staying on is pretty much non-existent. The waist is connected to a peg and a polycap, so yes, rotation is gonna be there. And the waist section right here, the front skirts move up slightly. If you can make it out there, if you can listen though, there's a clicking sound, which is not that often. The legs move forwards and off. The legs move forward this far, but any further and it would just sag down, which is kind of another transition for me to show off the double jointed knee. Although my friend, he just showed me the double jointed knee when yeah, that happened when he did that. Now before we continue, let's just try the other leg. Thigh rotation is limited, and the sideways movement is limited due to the ball joints. And yes, these things move in and out. No, I can also rotate to the back. Going to the feet now. The feet are connected to a polycap and ball joint. They move forwards this much, downwards this much. There is a bit of side to side, not all that much, and rotation is just barely there. And one more thing to note. Due to this not being built by me, there's a lot of num marks which you can easily make out. Look at that. Holy shit. I mean, to be fair, if I built this, I would just not care, so I understand why my friend didn't do that, so yeah. As for accessories, well, this thing does come with its arm guards, like I mentioned, they were loose. And it does come with a beam scythe and the wings, but unfortunately, as you saw, the wings are kind of loose, and of course, the Deathsythe is still inside the box, so we're not gonna talk about that. I should also mention this thing can be connected to an action base. Unfortunately, it just looks like a hanging corpse. For size comparisons, here he is next to the Granddaddy RX-78-2 High Revive and next to the HGBDR Mars 4 Gundam. Here he is side by side next to my boy Ultraman Genga. And finally, here he is next to the first grade Gundam Exia. Now the funny thing is that the first grade Exia and this Deathsythe are made by the same company. Yes, they're made by the same company, which leaves me one more thing to ask. The first grade here is solid, but the Deathsythe here is not. It's pretty loose. Begs the question though, what went wrong? Of course, this is just DIY Deylo recreating what was originally from Bandai back in the day, as I said in most of my first grade reviews. But one thing I just have to ask though, what went wrong? I think it has to do with the fact that this thing is more articulated. Also, the funny thing is that I think it's also the polycaps, because considering my Wing Gundam which I had, The polycaps were solid enough for it to stand up, except for the wings. I think this thing suffers the same thing because the polycaps. Forgot to mention the hands are actually polycaps as well. They also rotate. They're just on ball joints, but it's not worth it anyway. I recommend that you stay away from this kit because if you want a high grade fighting action of the Deathsythe, I suggest you either get the original one from Bandai, it's not that expensive, or you should just wait for Bandai to make an HG after Colony Deathsythe Hell. Because let's be honest, this thing is just a piece of crap and deserves to be punished. This is something Jobby the Hong would usually do, right? Just useless fucking pieces of shit. See you guys next time!